Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and I'm reading JLA The Ray, Rebirth, issue number 1. Now, this is called Justice League of America because this character, the Ray, just like Vixen and a couple other characters, are going to be in the new JLA, Justice League of America comic. It's going to start in February, and it's going to be headed up by Batman. To break this down nice and easy, there's this kid named Ray, and he's allergic to light. So all the lights are turned off. He can deal with artificial light for like an hour at a time with an hour off, but any natural light, including like a flash bulb or a birthday candle, could potentially kill him. Well, he turns out to be a gay kid who is in love with this guy named Caden. That was his next door neighbor, and Caden came over with a flash bulb and took a picture of him, and he wound up getting hurt. The kid Ray exploded apparently with light. Well, Caden wound up disappearing. He was moved out to some other place, whatever, and Ray has been writing him letters, but they obviously never got to him. Doesn't know if he's alive or dead. Well, Ray, as he gets older, he's like in his early 20s, something to that effect, he winds up leaving home. His mother's very resentful of him because they don't really get to go out in the light. She's okay, but he's not, and he apparently inherited this from his father. Well, it turns out that he's not allergic to light necessarily. He'll absorb the light, and if he absorbs too much, he can explode, but he can always turn invisible and completely ignore that. He can fly, he can shoot rays of light, he can use holographic illusions. These are just things that I'm noticing from what I see. He's apparently able to cause the light to flare up into an actual sort of fire or energy beam that can disintegrate clothes and things like that. So he flies around the world looking around, visiting places and learning things, but invisible, never having any real human contact. And he gets to a point where he comes to the city of Vanity in Oregon, and he sees that his ex-boyfriend, was it a boyfriend? Just a friend who he wound up falling in love with as he gets older. Anyway, the guy Cade, he happens to be running for mayor of Vanity. And he's about to get attacked by one of the Sons of Liberty. And guy forms an energy sword and energy shield and goes after him. But fortunately, Ray just happened to be there, turns visible, beats the guy up, makes some kind of a costume. And Hayden does or doesn't recognize him. It looks like he doesn't, but he may. Who knows? Either way, he says, hey man, you know, you've got to be a hero and you've got to help us all out. I don't know where you've been, but we need your help here. So it's interesting because Vanity is considered the most depressing city in the United States, possibly the world. And that's just interesting. I guess, you know, that kind of sounds like Oregon to me. Well, Ray apparently goes out and he finds a boyfriend, and he finds out how wonderful the world can be when you're visible, when you can be seen, not just see. So interesting. Everything seems to be a play on light and being able to see like literally everything that's in here. So he writes like one last letter to Caden that he knows he'll actually get. I don't know how that's actually going to work out. I'm actually kind of interested, to be honest. It looks like it's going to be fun. Either way, this was a very, very quick origin story for a character who, realistically, guys, I've never read Ray before. The Ray. I've never read him before. So finding all this stuff out was fast and hard, and it wasn't easy to really understand everything that happened here, but I do believe that I have a good grasp on it. I think I explained it well. I'm going to give this a B tentatively, because it gives you, I feel, just enough so that you can get into the character more in a group setting. So I like what DC's doing, that they kind of take some of these potentially lesser known heroes and put them out so that you know who they are first in a single issue before you get to meet them in the Justice League of America Rebirth issue number 1, which, as I said, is coming out in February. So you actually get to be caught up, and I like that. It's a really good idea. Anyway, guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and class dismissed.